So this is an idea that I had early this week where I want to run, I guess, weekly little sort of snippets of AI training to help business owners and people just become more familiar with AI. It's what I'm calling the AI Business Secrets Mindset Club, because I think a big portion of it starts with helping people with their mindset first. And then from there, and I'll just kind of make this a little bit easier to see things. There we go. Help them with their mindset first, because I think a lot of business owners, I mean, Candice, you're a little bit different from this because you've did a bit of training with me previously, but I think a lot of people aren't yet really adopting that AI enhanced problem solving mindset. And that's kind of what I'm a big fan of trying to usher in for a lot of people is, not just using AI tools, but having the mindset that really helps them get the most out of it. And so tonight, what we'll do is we'll start off by looking at the problem-solving mindset, because I think it helps everyone to think a little bit differently about how to see what AI can do and how to plan it and how to get the best out of it. And then I'll just share a few other little tools, what I'm calling a Neuro-Bionic custom AI tool system as well. So let's kind of jump into it and I know that some people are going to see the recording of this as well. But I guess when it comes to problem solving, the first thing to kind of think about is, do I even need an AI tool for this? Is this something that's going to help me, or am I just kind of wasting my time by trying to explore that? And I think some of the things to look at would be, what is the complexity of the solution or the system that you're looking to create? And are there many layers to it? If so, then AI is potentially a good fit for it. Then the other part is, what's the frequency? So how frequently do you want to use this sort of tool? Is it just a one-off? Are you just thinking about it? It's just something to explore for a hobby? Or is it potentially going to be something that would be a part of a system or a workflow? If it's going to require a lot of frequency, then it's potentially a good idea to, build it into an AI system as well, because you can then not only sort of move to the next part, but you can kind of use it consistently. Then it's thinking about customization. Do you want the ability to customize things to be able to kind of steer it in a particular way and add your own flavor to it? If so, then AI is a good fit for that. It's then about the consistency. Do you want to produce consistent results each time you use something? If so, then AI is a good fit for that. Do you want to, does it have the potential of saving you for money? Like, does it save on time and save on money? If so, then AI is a good fit. And then do you want to be able to potentially create something and then duplicate it? And what I mean by that is you want to be able to build it and then potentially offer it to someone else. Like, you could package it up as a standalone tool, offer it to someone else, or maybe you've got a team and you want to duplicate that throughout the team. If so, then AI is a good fit for that. And then the other part to think about, and this is where I think too many people are thinking just yet, because we're still at that early adoption stage, which is, does building this AI tool give you a competitive advantage? And if so, if the potential is there, then it's probably, adds to the leverage to pursue that and go down that path. And then the other part is then, does it create innovation? Does it create something brand new that potentially you can be a disruptor in your industry? And then if you've got like a few yeses to these sorts of questions, then to me, that's a really good opportunity to explore it further and invest a bit more time and energy to then create something from that. And I think that a lot of people are still caught up in trying to solve business problems with, a 2021 mindset, which is prior to really generative AI being released. And they're not there yet. And that's great for anyone that's there early. And it also means that, there's still this big early majority wave that's yet to hit. So we're in this really unique opportunity right now, this position to be able to capitalize on that, be one of the first early adopters, and then start to share it throughout the masses as well. Now, the other thing to kind of think about is, I'm going to share some of these tools that make building some systems really easy, but I think it's also important to actually understand the mindset behind it, because you kind of take your car to a mechanic and you just get the mechanic to look after it, but it might pay, to actually know how to change a spark plug, how to change a tire, how to check the water, how to check the oil, how to just do some of the basic things, just in case you need to do them and you're not having to be solely reliant on the mechanic. And so it's the same sort of thing where when it comes to starting to build an AI system or an AI tool. And this is getting beyond just prompt engineering, which is just going to chat GPT, like going like this here and just saying, write me a social media post about dogs. Anyone can do that. That's a really tired sort of idea, and it just creates junk content. So that's not this. This is not about just using generative AI like this. This is really stepping it up a notch, and it's kind of, I guess, what I'm really passionate about is helping people go beyond that. I think, yes, some people are still at that entry level of just learning how to use ChatGPT and prompt engineering. There's already a huge amount of content out there around that. What I want to do is encourage you to think differently, because then you're going to be able to skip a few steps as well. And so some of the ways to think differently is first understand what's your goal, what's the outcome that you seek. So an example here is I'm looking to create a social media post, but do I just only want to create one post, or do I actually want a social media posting system or a strategy? And is that actually what I want? Or what I really want is to get more engagement in my social media platform and to get more leads. And so it's really understanding what is the goal that I'm trying to achieve here, because that will dictate the path that you take. And then once you get really clear on what that goal is, then the next part is what's the ideal role to assign to this? And so a lot of research has shown that if you give AI a role, it will then perform better. So whilst AI is kind of like all-knowing and knows a whole bunch of stuff all about the world, it's useful to then say what would be the ideal role and expertise to allocate to we'll say an AI bot that is going to create a social media marketing strategy. So yes, this is still just basic prompt engineering, but I just want to kind of show you what this would do. And so just by asking that question now gives me this role and the expertise. And so that would be, okay, I'm starting to kind of build some of the ingredients that are going to help me build this amazing AI system, this custom AI system that, again, this is not just, hey, you use it once, just type in, write me a social media post about dogs. That's just a one-off single shot prompt, done, walk away, might forget about it, gets lost in my feed over here. And, that is not a system. So businesses succeed because they have systems and they replicate the systems. And that's what I'm all about, is helping people build AI systems that enable them to have that consistency, have that duplication, have that confidence to know that's going to produce regular outcomes for them and be able to use it time and time again. So now we've just got this role and expertise. So again, you've just seen, that's me sort of quickly pulling that out. Now I'll show you that a lot of these tools that I've built and you can get access to tonight kind of do a lot of this for you. But again, it's still just showing you how the spark plug gets changed, because again, I'm the sort of person, and I'm going to assume you're like this as well, where I don't like people sort of duping me into telling me something's going to take 10 hours when it should only take 1 hour. A mechanic, not to bastardize mechanics, but it's a stereotypical sort of a thing where, mechanics can tell you it's going to cost you $500 and all they're doing is just checking your oil and changing one spark plug. If you don't know any different, if you don't know how long it takes to change a spark plug and how long it takes to check the oil, you'll just pay it because you don't know any different. So whilst you can use AI to do a lot of this, I think it's important, at least I think it is anyway, and this is, if you disagree, then this is probably I'm not the right person to learn from for you. But I think it's useful to kind of know what's going under the hood, even if you don't potentially do that continually. And that's kind of always been my management style as well in the businesses, is every position that I've taken, I know that I can also do the positions underneath me. And so it's almost like, it's not just do as I say, it's do as I do as well, and then do as I say. And the same sort of thing here is I know how to get the best out of AI because I can also do it manually, but also can build the systems as well. Even though eventually you build a system that means you don't have to build the systems anymore. You can probably see this over here, this GPT, Ultimate GPT Builder Bot. It's a GPT, so it's a custom AI tool that builds custom AI tools. And so it just builds more tools for you. So that's kind of cool. So that's the role. And then you got context. So the context is, if I am running a dog business, what makes my dog business different? So I then need to give it some context. So I might, I am the only dog walking business that handles reactive and anxious dogs who are known to bite. So that becomes my USP, my unique selling proposition. That's the thing that makes me unique from all the other dog walking businesses that are out there. So that's what we talk about by giving context. Now, that's just some really basic context. That's just a single line. So these, again, are called like single shot prompts. But you can build an entire digital brain. So if there was some dog walking business, let's do best dog walkers in Gold Coast. That's where I am. Helps if I don't do some keystroke errors. Let's do these ones. Then supposedly they are the self-proclaimed #1 dog walking site. So Poor Shake. Does it say much about them? It looks like a pretty basic site. Looks like a dime a dozen site. Let's go for something that's a little bit more boutique and unique. Let's do Cassie's. There's probably some good stuff in there. Great. Yeah, there's a little bit of content there. So let's imagine I'm Cassie. So I want to build this, context about my business. I could just copy everything like this and say, this tells you everything about my business. And so I've just copied the entire page and just thrown it in, and now it's kind of, articulating all of that and kind of summarizing it and putting it all together. So that's an example of giving context. Then you've got the rules, and this will all make more sense as we sort of move into some of the Neuro-Bionic sort of tools as well. Then the rules. So what sort of rules do you want to apply? So that is rules that are going to make it easy for the user. So some of the tools that I've built, I have these rules that I apply. Now, these are kind of, think of as like global rules. They're rules that affect every step in that system. And so to give you an example, some of those rules that I apply with mine is I always aim for single keystroke responses. So in a lot of these bots that I build and these systems I build, if a user response is required, it's usually going to give you option either 1, 2, or 3. And so all you need to do is just type a 1, a 2, or a 3. It might give you a question. It'll say, is this correct? Y or N. So you're just doing Y for yes or N for no. It'll also often give you options. So I've got another this neon logo generator. Now, if you're looking at all these neon logos, all of these neon logos were created in about 60 seconds or so by this neon logo generator. That's my style. I've gone for this sort of neon flavor for a lot of the bots that I build. I think it makes it stand out. And so, in this sort of case, one of the rules here is it'll say, it'll give you 10 options. It'll say, here are 10 options. You just type a number as to what option to choose, or type go. So G-O, type go, and the bot will choose one for you. So I always try to, that's just an example of some of the usability rules that I build into my systems that mean that all of my systems are kind of, really easy to use. There's single keystroke errors. I try to minimize the cognitive load that users, and me included, need to employ in order to use those tools. So, that means that you have to spend a bit of time crafting them in the right way, or you just end up either with some, really quick responses that don't get great results, or you're asking the user to put too much or a lot more effort into the responses. So it's just pros and cons to weigh it up. But they're just an example of some of the rules that you can employ. But it's good to kind of, again, think about, okay, what are the global rules that I can apply to all of my steps in this process? So what I mean by that is, we just had, creating this social media post up here, but what if I actually want to now create a social media strategy? Well, then there's probably steps to that. And so I could say, list the ideal set of steps to creating a social media marketing. Now, again, these are all single shot prompts. This is me manually doing it, but this is not building a duplicatable system unless I went through and I copied all of these prompts and I put them somewhere in a document, but that's a little bit manual and kind of the old way. But here you've got these steps now. So set clear goals and objectives, understand your target audience, conduct a competitive analysis, choose the right social media platforms. You may not do all of this. It may be a little bit too detailed, but just to kind of help you understand the structure here, this has steps, or this has tasks, let's call it. So there's a task here, and then there are 2 steps to making sure that task is achieved. This is a task, and these are the steps, let's call it, that help us achieve that. So that kind of moves us into these next 2, which is breaking down what you want into tasks and then steps. So here is the first task, and break down that task into steps. So the steps, if you achieve each of the steps, then you achieve the task. And then if you achieve all those tasks, you've now achieved the outcome, the goal. So think of it like that. You're kind of breaking things down into chunks and then sort of stepping it out like that. Now, what can be useful is to find a framework. Now, right now, we don't have a framework. This is just AI has built this, but we could start by saying, list the best 3 social media marketing strategy frameworks. I'll say the 3 most well-known and iconic social media marketing frameworks. And we'll just go with that. Now, what this is going to do is this is now pulling in who out there has a really strong framework that we can, potentially use. So it stops AI from just giving us an answer. And this is one of the things about AI. AI gave us an answer here. We asked it for a social media marketing strategy. It gave us one. Is it the best one though? Is it a reputable one? Is it one that Gary V recommends? Is it one that Frank Kern recommends? Like, is it something that Brendan Burchard recommends? Is it Tony Robbins recommends? Is it someone else that's Neil Patel recommends? Like, whose social media strategy is there? Is it just some blended, mixed, mashed version that AI has just spat out to us? So whereas here, this now gives us the 5 C's of social media, the SOS stack. I don't know, this is developed by PR Smith, whoever that is. You got the race framework. So now you can start to kind of pull out some of these frameworks. If you're not sure who designed these frameworks, let's find out. Who designed each framework, and is there a better one to suggest? So we'll just test it to see whether AI is actually giving us the best. So it's like, it's not attributed to a single person. Okay, so it's just a generic one that's well-known, the PR Smith, whoever that is, well-known marketing consultant. And then this one's developed by Smart Insights. Is there a better framework? It's just recommending this and this. So, that's what I mean by we've now got some frameworks we can then consider using. Frameworks help us then go, okay, I don't need to just take what AI has said as gospel. We can kind of go, okay, well, that's the ideal one. And if you're a little bit unsure, you might say, what is Gary V's social media marketing strategy? And we'll see if he has one. I don't know whether it's going to come up with one. Yep, it's going to come up with one. Great. So again, that's where you just want to consider coming up with a framework that somebody else. So you're standing on the shoulders of giants that have gone before us and going, okay, well, I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I'll just borrow that. And that now gives AI some guidance on what to do. If you've got examples, you can go and find some examples as well, because giving AI examples helps it train and learn what those words really mean. So what do those frameworks really mean? What's the context that you want to see produced? And then also think about what sort of knowledge files will make this better. So what that means is you can take a framework and you could, take this outline here. I think it's giving me Gary V's 10 frameworks. We could take all 10 frameworks and we can build it into a knowledge file and go, that's Gary V's frameworks, done, just as a single file, single text file, done. Doesn't need to be too fancy. And then we could go, okay, what other knowledge files do we want? Okay, let's get all the examples of that. Let's put the examples into a knowledge file. So now we've got 2 knowledge files, and they become files that AI can kind of tap into. It becomes almost like part of the digital brain. So these are just different ways to think about building your own AI tools. And once you've got some clarity on all of that and you're feeling comfortable with that, then we start really kind of leveraging AI and thinking a bit differently and moving much faster. And so the reason why I call them Neuro-Bionic custom AI tools is it's a cool word anyway, but the reason for it is neuro being that they simulate brain-like adaptability and personalization. I'm a big fan of making sure that the AI tools are avoiding junk content, are avoiding AI speak, and are going to simulate your writing style as much as possible that has your unique selling proposition into it, your uniqueness, your specialized knowledge. So it's not just this, it's accessible to everyone. Everyone is out there, not everyone, but a lot of people are out there just using AI in a clumsy way and just putting out junk content, and you see it a miles away once you know what to look for, and it just turns you off. It turns you off when you see junk content. At least it does for me, and I think it's that's going to happen more and more as time goes on. So my mission is to help everyone elevate their ability to create quality content, because it's no different from having a VA write for you. I mean, 2 years ago, we had VAs writing for us, and for the last probably 15 years, VAs were a thing. Sometimes you have a bad VA or a VA that wouldn't write like you, and it'd be clunky and it wouldn't sound like you. And so that was a poor VA. People can use VAs really well. VAs can really simulate your writing style. And AI is just like a digital VA. It can be used really well, but it can also be used poorly. And so then the bionic is that this is technology that mimics and augments your human capability. And so that's this is my approach to really helping people build some quick AI tools. Now, this is not really, I'm going to show you how to build custom AI tools tonight in mere minutes. But then there's a whole nother category of AI tools. This is using GPTs. GPTs is a way of building your own systems in ChatGPT. And whilst right now, ChatGPT is not the best performing platform, Gemini has kind of just pulled out in front recently. So you got Gemini in front, Claude next, and then ChatGPT. But there are rumors that ChatGPT is going to release GPT-5 in probably the next 30 days, 30 to 90 days. And there's indication that it is 100 times more powerful than GPT-4. Now, this is using GPT-4. I'm not sure, I can't even grasp what this is going to be like when these are 100 times more powerful. So even though they're not the best performing right now, they're still pretty good. They were the best performing probably about a month ago or 6 weeks ago. So not much has really changed. It's just that our expectations got a little bit higher now because there are some other models out there. But when GPT-5 hits and you have your own AI tools built here, then away you go. Like, it's just going to be huge, because that's going to leave the other platforms in the dust and they're going to be playing catch up then. So building here does set you up for an exciting future as well. So these are what GPTs are. You just go to Explore GPTs, and just really quickly to kind of show you how you build them, you go into here and you go create. And this is really where you want to be to create your own GPTs. Now, I'm going to go back and we're just going to unpack this really quickly. So it starts by building a digital brain. And so this digital brain builder is a GPT that helps you build a digital brain. How do we do that? We're just going to click on this. And so it says your digital brain builder. So we'll say, help me create a knowledge file for my business. We click this here. And it's just going to say, okay, tell me everything about your business. Now it's going to ask step by step. I'm going to just bulldoze over the top of that. go to this site. We'll assume this is me. I'm going back here and I'm just going to paste it in and just say, we'll just jump to the top. Did that? Yep, that's posted everything. I'll just say, answer all the questions from this information. And so I'm just kind of pre-framing it that, hey, don't ask me any more questions, just get it all from here. And so now it's reading all that information and it's putting it into the system that I've built this to do. So it's going to come up with what's the offer? Who's the target market that this appeals to? What's the main problem that this solves? Now, this applies to every single business. What are the benefits that this business offers to the users, to the target market? What makes this unique based on what it can gather? Like, again, if this person has not mentioned anything that is unique about their business, it's not going to make it up. It's just going to go, we'll get what we can from it. So what makes this unique? It's a boutique personalized service. Contrasts larger franchises, focuses on safe and structured walks. So it's okay, I guess. No franchise mentality. Okay, that's so it just basically means that's a uniqueness. You get like that small town, personalized, looked after feel instead of dime a dozen cookie cut approach to it. And then aspirational identity. So then what it's also built into it is it'll say, okay, great, here's your basic level. Do you want sort of like some marketing aspects added to it? So let's imagine I'm not a marketer, I'm a dog walker. But yeah, like give me some marketing, sort of headlines and stuff like that, and build that into my digital brain as well, because then all of my other content creation is going to pull some of that into it. So there's a really well-known framework called the 16-word sales letter framework. So we'll just say, yes, include the 16-word sales letter framework. And it should understand what that means. And so now it's going to put all that together and add it into this digital brain. It hasn't created a digital brain yet. Again, this is, I'm sitting back waiting for it to work. Haven't had to say too much. I just copy and paste the content from the website into this. It's going to put all this information together. So the 16-word sales letter framework is, what's the big idea statement? How is it different from everyone else? I won't go through all of it, but there's about, I think it's like 12 different aspects that it's going to pull out that all make up this really powerful sales letter. Now, whilst we don't really need the sales letter, it just adds a bit more value to the digital brain. And it says, would you like the knowledge file export as a text file or paste it out on the screen in a code box? We'll say exported. Now, I did say normally it would give you single keystroke questions. And this is because this is one that I haven't gone back and rebuilt since I built. So this one is I built months and months and months ago. I just need to go back and add another version to it. But as you can see, it's still pretty concise and efficient in terms of what you need to tell it. So what it's now doing is it's putting all that information into a text file and it's processing it so that it should make sure that I can download it. And it becomes an actual file that has all that value in it. So it should have the 16-word sales letter. It'll have all the other details about the business, all built into this single file. I've just noticed that ChatGPT has been taking longer than normal recently. So it doesn't always take this long. I don't know if that's the new normal. Again, once GPT-5 hits and everything's 100 times faster, 100 times better, it should just be, straight away. Here we go. I think it's going to work now. And so it's just making this accessible for me. So I can go and click on this, starting the download. It's downloaded it here. If I open this up and we will open up this file and you'll be able to see it. And there is the file. So Cassie's dog walking pet city knowledge file. It's got the business summary in there. And then it's got the 16-word sales letter. So now all of that is this knowledge file that I now have, and it took like 2 or 3 minutes to make that. So I've made the digital brain for my business. Something to think about is make a digital brain. So you just do this again, but this time you do it for your low ticket offer. You do it for your mid-tier ticket offer. You do it for your high ticket offer. So you actually have a different digital brain for each different offer in your business. Now, if you have a business with hundreds of products, you're probably not going to have a digital brain for all hundreds of products. But most businesses have economics to it, and those economics says that there's likely like cash cow products. There's the products that generate the most amount of profit, that bring in most amount of revenue. They're probably the ones you do want to have a individualized digital brain for, because you do want to probably unpack that with a bit more detail. And so you could use this digital brain 4 times and get great results from it. So now we've got this digital brain, let's move to the GPT bot builder. So we'll click on that. So let's imagine we want to create this, this social media marketing strategy. So we'll say, help me create a custom GPT. And then it's going to say, what do you want it to do? And so we will then say, I want to create a social media marketing strategy creator for my dog walking business. Actually, we'll just say creator. We'll do it for any business. We'll go like that. And so then what it's going to do is it's going to say, oh, do you want to focus on multiple platforms or just one platform? Let's say focus on Facebook. So we'll make this really targeted to Facebook. And so now what it's going to do is ask me some other things. So you can see this is where it is giving us ones or twos and just single keystrokes. So we'll say organic. So what it's just getting some clarity, and then it'll come up with a role and a expertise. Would you like to specialize in any type of content, engagement, content creation, posting schedules, audience growth and optimization, all the above? We'll say for all the above. And now it should come up with a role, most likely. Tailored to specific industries, general for all industries. We'll say general strategies for all industries. Sure, it's got enough now. There we go. So it's now going for role and role description. And she's saying, am I happy with that? Yes. So this is where, showing you those rules now, these rules, these single keystroke rules. And what it's also now doing is now moving to the tasks and the steps. So you can see specific tasks and the steps, task, steps, task, steps. So this is building the instructions that goes into building your own GPT. So this is helping you build your own GPT instead of staring at a blank screen going, I don't know, how do I start? Like, what do I need to type? This will do it all for you. And so it's building it through asking some questions. So you just proofread this, make sure you're happy with it. We'll just kind of keep going fast through. We can add some extra detail to it. So let's go back to, let's throw in a Gary V. Let's do this one. We'll throw that in as a framework. We'll say, yes, I want to use a knowledge file based on this framework. So let's say it's going to help me create a knowledge file based on Gary V's framework. So it's chosen to put it as a PDF. We'll just say, change this to a .txt for the knowledge file, and at the end, please create the knowledge file for me. So we're just kind of saying, hey, look, you're not going to create a PDF, just create a knowledge file for us later on. So it's like, yep, okay, we'll do all this. So it's just getting clear on that. And it's actually creating the file for us. Did ask it to do it at the end, but it's decided to do it now. So that's all right. So that's where our file is, our knowledge file, just shown to us on the screen. So again, it's broken it all down. It's add more detail than what was here. So it says jab. This was just one sentence. Now we've got jab broken down into different things and the hooks and the principles to follow. Do you want to proceed with the, yes, I do want to proceed. And so now it's giving me the final instructions. So this, where it says here, copy code, once it finishes, we're going to hit copy code. We're going to paste it all across to our GPT builder, our custom GPT. Now we're going to have our own unique social media strategy creator based on Gary V's jab, jab, jab hook framework. So we're going to let this continue on. Just wait for it to finish its thing. Now we do need to create or pull out the jab, 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 right hook framework text. We haven't pulled that out yet. It's just showed it to us on the screen, so we won't forget that. And now it's finished. So it does say, hey, would you like to proceed with deploying or make any final adjustments? We'll just assume that's good. I hit copy code. I go to my ChatGPT builder. I paste it into instructions just here, and we'll give it a name. We'll go the jab, 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 right hook, social media marketing strategy creator. It's a big long name, but I'm just going to do that just in case there's some sort of policy around copying that sort of thing. Sometimes when I've been creating GPTs, if you use a certain name or go, no, sorry, we can't allow you to use that. So that's why I'm just kind of abbreviating it. All right, so let's just say conversation starters are those little buttons that just appear at the bottom, sorry, at the top, but underneath the headline there. So we'll just say, help me start. Just something like that. It almost like just kicks the engine in. All right, so we've got knowledge file. We haven't got the knowledge file outputted yet. So we can then just say export the, what was it called? This one. A text file. So it's going to export that now for me as well. We'll need to upload that. Let's do it. No, I want to export it. All right, we'll just do the fast way rather than waiting for that. I'm going to copy this code. I'm going to go to my folder here. Let's duplicate that. And we'll give it a different name. We're going to call it, what was it? I'll just do jab, jab, right hook for now, .txt. We'll rename it, but I just want to get into it. Yes, use text. Open, text edit. Paste it all in. Go with that for now. Save it. Close it down. We'll rename it to the right name. The right name was jab, 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 right hook framework. So this is just a really fast way to do it. Make sure it's all right. There it is. Good. And now we can upload it as a knowledge file. Upload it as a knowledge file. Now, what we can also do is we can build in, if this is for my own personal business, we can add in my personal business knowledge file as well. So we can actually change that and just say, please also include my own business knowledge file as well, which is attached. So let's go like this, upload from computer. There it is there. And adjust the instructions. Even though there's a few spelling mistakes, it'll work it out. So now it's going to put it all together. I'll need a brief description of the contents of your knowledge page. If you haven't already provided it, I'll update instructions. You can review the file. Just adjust the instructions. I'll just adjust the instructions. Let's see if it's going to do that. So we called it Facebook Organic Growth Strategist. Let's call it that as well. It's a bit of a better name than this big long one. Go like that. There we go. Now, whilst that's going, what we can also do is go here, and I'll just show you this neon logo generator. So we'll click into this. This is where things just get kind of fun, I think, anyway. And we'll say, help me create a new neon logo for a new product or offer. We'll click on that. And then it's going to say, tell me all about it. What does it want to be? And I'll say, help me create a new logo for my new GPT called. I just often just say, you choose. Just have me offer some visually appealing options for you to choose from. Yeah, you choose. And then it'll say here, either pick one or say go, and it'll select some of the best combinations. I like to kind of say, you choose the best three and generate them separately. The best three, we'll say combinations. And then it's like, I can't be bothered looking at those 10. Just you choose, shortlist it for down to 3 for me and show me what those 3 would look like. And then I won't overcomplicate this too much. I'll just kind of show you how fast this can give you a pretty cool logo. Facebook, okay. Actually, I don't know whether we'll get away with calling it Facebook in the thing, but we'll see. Like that's kind of, even though the E's missing, I think. Almost got it there. Facebook growth, organic graph. That's a bit strange. Organic growth. I mean, look, it is going to ask, hey, did I get the text right? It says, does the text appear correctly in all the logos? No, it doesn't. Look, I won't bother keep going with that. Let's just go, yeah, that one's close enough. And then we go back to our GPT and we go here, we add upload photo, go to where we just downloaded that one, that's that one there. And now we've got like a pretty cool standout logo for it. And so it kind of catches your eye a bit more now. All right, so let's go back to this builder. We now should have your business knowledge file is in there. So we just need to adjust that a little bit, but we'll go here, paste it in. Now our knowledge file name was this one here. And we'll go and add that in. So we're just changing the file name to that there. Yep. And then we need to upload it. So we'll do upload. So MD is a markdown file. It kind of will still be received the same way as a text file. There we go. And we can hit create, update. And now we've got our own GPT. Now, what I haven't done, and just because of timing, let's do view. So I'm going to give it a test run. So it's applying the jab, 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 right hook. It's going with, educational tips on how pet owners can help their dogs, funny stories. The right hook is this. Let's start your business description and goals. Brief overview of what Cassie's pet sitting aims to achieve on Facebook. We'll say, get more clients. Great. Okay, define the target market. Who's your ideal clients? Pet owners. We'll say you choose based on what you know about my business. Sometimes you're just like, no, AI, you choose for me. Now, again, this is just means that you have the option of steering in a particular direction, but it already has that knowledge file. It kind of already knows, at least based on whatever we gain from what's in here, whatever's on this website. So if it's not clearly mentioned on that website, then it may not know what it is. Now, heavy audience, let's content creation, allow some jabs. Would you like to proceed? Just do Y for yes. And so it's just going to give us some ideas. So it's just coming up with a strategy, and that's kind of what I wanted to show you. Now that's just strategy. It's not the actual posts. Then you might come up with a post creator, which means we might go back to the GPT builder and say, okay, what does it actually do at the end? It gives us a strategy. We actually want it to create the post as well. So you might have like a fifth task, which is to create the post based on the strategy, or you might build a separate GPT that now builds the posts based on the strategy. And that's where you can now starting to build all these different, they can have an email creator, an image creator, a video creator, social media post creator. We had a social media post strategy creator, but then you can create another bot that then takes the strategy and then creates the posts from that. And then you just feed it into the Neon logo generator, and you create all these cool sort of logos and images that make it pop and stand out, and that just creates perceived value. It sort of makes your GPTs have stand out from the masses. But one last thing I want to show you is you've got this GPT ghostwriter. So another thing you can add to your GPT if it is creating content is get it to analyze some of your own writing. So you just click on this one. It's actually labeled right now the personal writing fingerprint creator. You upload some of your own writings. Let's say we go here. Do they have a blog post? Is there any blog? Let's do, is there a blog here? Let's see if she's had any posts we can just rip off. You're looking for something with a bit of writing to it. Nothing yet. No, it's all very sort of image-based. It doesn't look like there's too much there. So, let's imagine this is something that she's written. So we can grab that and go, where is it here? And we paste that in, and it's now going to assess that writing, and it's going to pull out an instructional command, and that is going to tell AI how to write like this writing style. And so then that is something you can go back into this GPT and say, here is the writing style I want you to include in the instructions when producing content. And then you paste it in. So we'll just wait till it finishes. And so what this does, this means that now your content up until this point, it's still just creating AI speak. Words like unlock and delve and all these sorts of words that it becomes overused when AI is just allowed to run rampant. And so here's what we want: to write in a way that mimics his style, focus on using, so this is what we want. We want focus on using warm, reassuring, like that. We grab that, we go back to here, and we paste it in. Oops. And then that will now be built into the instructions. But we've already launched our organic Facebook growth strategist. What do? We just click up here, we go edit GPT, and let's call it version 2 for now, because we've just made it an improvement to it. We'll go back and grab the instructions. Wait for it to finish its thing. What I will do is I'm not going to include the knowledge file component, I don't think. I think it's all above that. So just from part 4 onwards, we'll copy. Has it included it? Where has it included it? Your user reassure me. Yep, so it's got that there. So I'm going to copy all of that. Now, the reason it's because I didn't tell it that I'd adjusted this part. So I'm just going to copy from there up. Oops, that was too far. Rookie mistake. Let's try that again. Go back into our GPT. Now I'm wanting it from Now, if this is a small box and you can't read it properly, click on that there, breaks it out a bit, and it was from knowledge files up. Go. It's got that new part in there. This is that new part. There you go. That's in there. Hit close, update. And now it's going to write content like us if we had asked it to. We haven't asked it to. It's going to create a strategy. A strategy is not public facing content. But I just want to kind of show you how all that kind of comes together. And that is really kind of, gives you this kind of neurobiotic sort of feel to it, that you are simulating your writing style, your way of thinking, frameworks that work, that you kind of moving away from the generic, bland, mixed together, mishmash AI, sort of, generalized solutions, into coming up with your own solutions that speak like you, sound like you, have your own unique business insight into it, that ensures that you're going to get a better result. And so that is it from me. I hope you got a lot of value from it. Next week, I'm going to be doing this every week. My intention was not to go for 50 minutes. It was to go for 30 minutes, but hopefully you got value from it. Hopefully it's been worthwhile to you. I will send out the links. If you're watching this on the replay, the links will be beneath this video, so you can get access to that. And I look forward to sharing more value with you. If you have any questions, reach out. Thanks, Candice. We'll chat again soon. Take care.